summit of this year's edition is under the theme Towards a Shared Future, People, Innovation and Cooperation, and could not be more fitting in order to achieve the Himalaya Conference Summit and objective. But what does this slogan concretely mean? Let me start with people. Yes, people are the key. Our young people are not the future, but the present. And it's their world we are building today. Whenever somebody asks me where I see the big advantage and the added value of Nepal, I say it's the young people. They are dynamic, motivated, and interested. And there is an increased number of very well-trained Nepali young people who have studied abroad and are eager to return home. It is important that we support this generation and invest in them. Nepal is in the midst of the democratic transition. As a result of lower birth rate, the share of the population that is working age is now greater than the share of the population that is not. And this is the demographic dividend. To fully capture the benefit of the demographic dividend, investing on the skills of Nepali youth is the imperative. And it will be important to ensure that no one is left behind. We have now the hype of big investment, but we should not forget that to not left anybody behind. That we reach everybody, even those traditionally marginalized in the society or living far away in remote, difficult, accessible places. And we have seen yesterday, the tornado have hit again the very poor ones, the ones who are really left behind, and we should not forget them. However, to invest in skills of young Nepali is not enough for sustainable growth and development of the country. Nepal will need to adopt a comprehensive approach to break the self-reinforcing dynamic that have kept it in a low-growth, high-migration trap. It will have to restructure its public investments program, intensify the level of competition in the domestic market in sectors such as transport, logistics, and telecommunication, and reduce the cost of doing business in order to boost investments and accelerate productivity. And this while paying attention to the well-being of the sensitive Himalaya environment, its scarce natural resources, and its rich, diverse culture. Another key factor is to build new sources of growth. By investing in carefully selected high-value products in so-called niche products, where Nepal has an added value, which makes use of and promote Himalaya brand. I think of products such as indigenous rice variety, herbs, wool, seeds, etc. Now, what about innovation? Last year, my own country, Switzerland, was named as the world's most innovative country by the World Intellectual Property Organization for the 8th year in a row. The index looks at over 80 indicators ranging from environmental performance to knowledge-intensive employment, as well as the political and regulatory environment. Next to Switzerland ranked the Netherlands and Sweden, two other small countries with scarce natural resources, which have deliberately and strategically chosen to focus on human capital, knowledge, technology, and creative outputs, and have invested heavily in enabling innovation and innovative activities to drive economic and human development. In Nepal, I have seen very innovative ideas by young people who are skilled, creative, and strive to find pragmatic solutions to existing emerging problems. For instance, we have the pocket satellite developed, and I think one of the developers is even here again in the room. And we have, for example, also Babuk Shoes, a company that sells globally fell shoes made in Nepal, an all-natural product based on old local handicraft, sustainable materials, and responsible product. This is the way to go. Unfortunately, this way is bumpy, and the country, while waiting to attract big investment, struggles to recognize and support smaller, very innovative companies, which very often are the original carrier of innovation. Startups are generally not seen as potentially fast-growing business and struggle to get the necessary funding and administrative support that is required for the successful establishment and development of the activities. This is a missed opportunity, particularly if the country wants to achieve its vision to gradually shift to a middle-income country by 2030. It will need to be innovative. And unfortunately, on the investment summit, it was only the talk of big investment, big infrastructure investment, but what does the road is useful for if there's no people who can transport goods, innovative goods, goods for a future? As a relatively small country, Nepal, with scarce natural resources and limited industrial power, it will have to develop and promote an economic model that does not focus on mass production, nor on remittancy, but rather on innovation and on niche products. It's not a very sexy word in Nepal, but we believe it's on niche products. Also a model which takes into consideration Nepal's specific socioeconomic feature, demographic trends, and unique geographic environment. To achieve such an economically and environmentally sustainable model, we have to focus on areas such as design and system thinking and recycling. I'm very much looking forward to hear more about how to structure economic growth in a sustainable manner in the course of the session 1 of this summit on the Himalaya circular economy. Last but not least, let me come to cooperation. We live today in a high interconnected, complex, and globalized world where working in splendid isolation is no option anymore, also for Nepal, no option anymore. We need to invest in collaborative and equal partnership between countries and regions, while we also need to strengthen the cooperation between the governments and the private sector, individual innovators, social entrepreneurs, academia, civil society, as well as development partners. In 2090, Switzerland and Nepal can look back on 60 years of successful collaboration. Since 1959, Swiss cooperation has evolved much as we have adapted our approach to the context and the need of the country and Nepal's people. Switzerland will continue to support Nepal to find pragmatic solutions and environmentally and economically sound solutions in view of a secure and sustainable future. I want to thank the Himalaya Consensus Summit for providing us today, again, a great platform to meet and discuss innovative and pragmatic approaches. I'm looking forward to interesting and fruitful discussion today, and I would like to thank you.